Hey everybody, it's a very special episode of Always Bookin Comedy. I'm in San Diego, California. Look at those palm trees. Very fun. And we got Brooke Caldwell, who texted me a question yesterday. I'm at a coffee shop, by the way, and my laptop's gonna die at some point. So we'll just do this episode until it dies. And we missed for the first time in like a year my normal Monday episode because I was comatose after the Vail Comedy Festival. And anyway, so Brooke asked me how the festival went. And I decided what better way to answer that question than to just record it and use it for future content. So that's what this episode is going to be about, the Vail Comedy Festival that happened Memorial Day weekend. It's now Friday, May 31st. And yeah, so Brooke, go ahead with questions. What do you got for me?
Well, thank you for the surprise. This is fun.
Yeah,
Um, the good, the bad, the ugly, honestly.
okay.
What do you want to start with? The staff, comedians, the
Well, let's
crowd.
start. Let's start with staff because that's
I
so.
want
By
staff.
way of introduction, Brooke for many years helped out with the Vail Comedy Show. She's also a huge help with the first 2 years of the Vail Comedy Festival, and had a scheduling issue this year with the comedy festival. So we can talk about the staff were amazing. See if you can guess what color hoodie the staff got this year. Year one was blue. Year two was red. Year three was
Yellow.
wrong, but that might be year four. We were talking about it, but I think yellow we might look like McDonald's employees, so I'm not psyched on that. Green, Kelly Green, very cool.
Honestly,
Uh, we had, I think, 6 or 7 people in their green hoodies all over the place. It looked very professional, if I'm being honest. And we had a big emphasis on warmth and hospitality. Like if you saw somebody with a festival badge, you're supposed to say hello, how are you doing, kind of thing to kind of keep that. I don't know. It's always felt like
you
a
didn't have
family
me
thing.
to say hello to everyone.
What's that?
I said because you didn't have me to say hello to everyone.
Yes, yes. You were very good at that. Um, so yeah, staff were great. We didn't have Kyle was missing this year, who you met last year, and he was missed in the sense that uh just like if we had a weakness, it was getting shows to start on time with all the correct equipment because we really upped the difficulty level this year. We did multiple microphone audio recording of every show and 3 camera 4K shooting of every show. So in addition to setting up a stage and lighting and sound, you also basically were setting up a recording studio in a brand new space every couple of hours. And because the cameras are so expensive, we only have one set of the cameras. I bought a bunch of stuff this year, like $8,000 in new equipment, so we could have two of most of everything. But even then, it got kind of confusing, and because sometimes you needed 3 sets of things.
Well,
So I
I
think
feel
for
like
next,
video compared to, video and sound are the most important part of that, you know, priority. It's a priority for sure.
yeah, I guess
Yeah.
so. But you can't really film if you don't have a stage or lights or sound. It's a chicken and egg problem. You need the show to be running, and you can't really start the show unless you have at least a microphone and a mic stand. You don't really need the mic stand, I guess. And I think we proved that at one show. I think maybe we were missing a mic stand for a little bit. We had a mic stand break. That was a hassle. We had a new HQ. Uh, so we've previously, well, I don't want to reveal our secret locations. We had secret locations in the past. This year was a little more public, but that was actually an ugly thing. So where we had our HQ was also where our podcast taped. So for like 4 hours a day on Friday and Saturday, the staff could not go into the HQ. And every single time that happened, we needed something. It was like, all right, we need this mic stand right now. And the mic stand was in HQ where they were taping for the next like hour and a half. So that was kind of a
Yeah.
mistake. I wish, yeah, that was, we're not going to do that again. That was a problem for sure.
Mhm. Yeah. I
Uh,
well, you always learn. You always learn.
yes, yeah, yeah. And we learn in the fire. Um, so, yeah, but the HQ was huge, which was nice. We've had very tiny HQs. We've grown every year. The first year was a small closet. The second year was like half of a hotel room. And then this year it was like a big conference room,
That's
basically.
nice, a lot more space
Yeah.
because it is
Yeah.
like, you're kinda crawling on stuff. I remember, yeah, we were in a hotel room,
Yeah.
in and out of there. That actually brings up something we talked about that you were kinda worried about when we got on the phone one time. How
Hmm.
was the photographers? We had
We'll
new
see.
photographers this year.
We had new photographers, kind of we had great photography the last couple of years. By the way, did you hear about Long John? Do you remember the guy from Zimbabwe in year one? I can't believe I didn't text you this.
I'll never forget him.
Learn
What happened?
his real name's Learn More Janasi,
Yeah.
and he was on America's Got Talent 2 nights ago and got the golden buzzer. Like everybody loved him. There's this incredible video. I got to send it
Are
to
you
you.
able
He's
are
like,
you able to, is it on the internet
it's
right now?
yeah. It's on YouTube. Howie Mandel posted it. It is. I'll text it. Remind me at the end of this. I'll send it to you. It's awesome. And
Yeah.
the festival Instagram posted something yesterday specifically about it, showing him at an open mic 2 years ago at Loaded Joe's, and now he's I mean, he's on like NBC television. It's wild. It's really neat. It's very
I'm
cool. I
really
cried.
happy for him. He was a highlight
He was
first.
incredible. He was great. I was very very excited to see that, and I hope you know selfishly that's the goal of some of this stuff is we have a lot of comedians and eventually some of them are going to become famous and we'll have the photography of those comedians wearing Vail Comedy Festival stuff, standing in front of a banner that says Vail Comedy Festival, etc., and that will hopefully
That
help
is
the festival.
awesome.
Yeah, I'm really excited for him. It's just it's incredible. It's awesome. So um I think the photography went well. They were really good at drone stuff. They took some killer
Oh,
they took
that's
some
awesome.
killer drone stuff. There's some stories on the festival. I don't really know. I'm dumb at that stuff, but if you go to the festival account, you'll see some
Okay.
stories. Is that what they are? The ones that disappear?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, Instagram story. You got
Yeah,
that right. Good
exactly.
job, Mark.
Exactly.
You're not as
Thank
old
you.
as I
Thank you.
thought you were.
Thank you.
Just
Good
kidding.
job, buddy.
But we'll never
Uh,
know.
yeah, so it was definitely different. Our old photographer was just, I mean, he knows exactly what he's doing. He's very comedy oriented. He used to work at a very famous comedy club. He's shot famous comedians before. So it was great to have professionals there. Also this year, something new, several comedians took almost professional level photos and shared them, like hundreds, almost thousands of photos
That's
from the
really
weekend, which was really neat. Yeah.
good content.
Yeah.
What was what were some of your highlight of shows? Which ones were the
The
best? All
the
of them?
No, not all of them. Saturday 7:30, same thing. Like that happened last year. You saw that. That Saturday 7:30 show was banging at Sarah's
Mhm.
Lounge in Christiania, and it was incredible this year as well. We had about 10 less people, but we were standing room only. Uh, and last year those 10 people were just standing in the back. But it was packed. It was really busy, and that room is just perfect for comedy when it's full. And the
That was
headliner
a
killed
favorite
it.
for comedians as well. Did you use Christiani a lot this year?
Same amount as last year. We did that Saturday 7:30, and we did a Sunday fiver. The difference this year, the Sunday fiver, I think last year we had like 15 people in the audience, and this year we had like 30 to 40, and it was an awesome show. It was really fun. Whereas last year it was just kind of like, yeah, it was kind of weak.
Mhm.
So
Nice. That's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
Any how was the crowd this year?
Um, so there was a bluegrass festival going on, and it was colder outside. So those are two caveats. So the bluegrass festival gave people other things to do, and it was like rained one night and one day, and the past couple years has been high of 70, and this year was a high of 50. So it's definitely chillier. And I feel like that kept people away. We sold the same number of passes as years past, but we had less people at our shows. I
Oh,
don't, and I
yeah.
can't really put my finger on why, especially the closing show, the Sunday final show last year was packed with like 90 people. And a ton of walk-up ticket sales. And this year there was some miscommunication about whether there'd be walk-up ticket sales, and then just not as many. I don't know where people went. They bought the passes, but they just didn't come to that last show for some reason. We only had like,
That is interesting.
yeah, we only had like 45, maybe 50 people at that show, but it was a highlight. You asked like what were the highlights? The Sunday closing show. Mary Mack headlined it, and
Oh,
she
did see
was
that?
incredible. What's that?
I love Mary Mac.
Yeah, she was awesome all weekend long. Super fun. Like she came with her husband, Tim Harmston, who's been on Letterman. He was super funny. He did a show at Aviator Nation. We brought back the high stage at Aviator Nation, by the way. I don't know if you remember that, but the
Yep.
first year we had a very high stage. Second year we had a lower stage, and
And yeah,
just for the Aviator Nation show, we brought back the high stage, and it seemed to make the shows better that were there.
I remember that was feedback from last year. It was they felt a little more enclosed. Was that a
Yeah.
good turnout?
The
Those were
first
all my
the
favorite.
first night especially, or was the first or second, one of the two, it was packed at Aviator Nation. And we put I have that rear speaker you've seen at Moe's and Eagle. Moe's, where is it? Moe's and Eagle. Everybody go eat Moe's Original Barbecue all over the country. And so I have this rear speaker now that was helpful to kind of like deal with the noise in the back of the room.
Mhm. That's nice. Yeah, especially since it gets a little loud underground in
Yes,
the lounge.
exactly. Exactly. We also had a decibel meter down there to hush people, but that had mixed
Well,
mixed
that's always yeah. I think that's Mark's most difficult place to hush people.
yes. Well, I mean, and last year I was the problem. I was loud.
Yeah.
So that didn't help things. But yeah, so those shows went great. Aviator Nation, great partner. So happy to work with them. This is crazy. In Malibu, California, which is Los Angeles, on Wednesday, I'm doing a comedy show at Aviator Nation Dreamland in Malibu.
No
With
kidding.
with Eddie If. You know Eddie.
Yes, Eddie's
Yeah,
hilarious. Oh, that
yeah,
will be I didn't even know I'm in Vail. I didn't know there was other ones in
yeah.
other
They're all
places.
over the country. There's one in Aspen too that I'm trying to get a comedy show to go at, and they want to do a comedy show, but they don't have. They keep losing staff, and every time they lose staff, they're like, "We're too busy. We got to focus on selling $600 sweatshirts, and we don't have time to help you with the comedy show." But
Oh,
eventually, I
that's
think it will work out.
yeah, that's cool.
Yes.
That's cool.
Any other questions?
Let's see. What'd you learn? Not even
Ooh,
what
what
you
is
learned. Let's see. Comedians, were they on their best behavior? Did everyone make it? I remember
everybody made it?
or do you have anything
I'll
about
tell I'll tell
comedians?
I'll tell you off camera a couple of things, but I will say generally one thing that I have to adjust going forward is this was the most talented crop of comedians we've ever had, and I think every year the people who have applied have been more senior and talented, and that's going to keep happening. And the better comedians, they have different expectations. So,
Mhm.
you know,
I'm really happy for Vail Comedy Festival with that
yeah,
process.
it's
Yeah,
a good thing, but it's also a bad thing.
and
Uh,
that was my next question. How was the artist experience?
well, I mean, overall, I mean, we kill it. We started in year one with taking care of people, and we like everything we've done every year, we've added to. So, like year one, we gave everybody a T-shirt, we gave everybody a gift bag, we paid for their hotel, we helped arrange rides. They were super happy. We probably did some other things too. Year two, we what did we add? We added the welcome barbecue, and we added uh beanies, you know.
Mhm.
maybe one or two other things I can't remember. So year three, they got everything from year one, everything from year two. We added notebooks and pens and probably something else I'm forgetting about. So they got all that stuff, and they were like, it was very nice. The last few days, I've gotten so many very, very nice emails basically saying this was the best organized festival I've ever done. And these are people who have done a lot of festivals. The whole
Mhm.
staff took such good care of the comedians. We're just very, people were very grateful, which was nice.
That's really good. Was there
Yeah.
any new sponsors? Anyone jump on board this year?
Well,
Anyone?
Rocket Fizz came back in a big way, which was really helpful and appreciated. And they put up a huge sign in Lion's Head. If you go to the store, the left window, which is like, it's got to be like at least 10 feet tall by 10 feet wide, the sign. It's enormous. It's like
You
a
could put
billboard,
100
basically.
posters in that window.
What's
200.
that?
You could
No,
put 100 posters in that.
yeah, exactly, exactly. It's an enormous picture. It's very cool, and I think we can reuse it every year. Oh, the other thing we did this year was we had a billboard. We put a bunch of comics' faces on the billboard. Did I send you pictures of that?
I did not see that one, no. I saw,
Okay, I'll have to send you that
roundabouts.
as well. We've been
Yeah,
out of
send me
touch.
pictures.
We gotta reconnect the. I'll send you the Learn More Jananzi thing and the billboard pictures. They're so cool. Uh, so. So we did that as well. And yeah, the comics were very happy, I believe.
That's really awesome. That's
Yeah,
really cool. How many comics
yeah,
were there this year?
30 plus.
Love that.
Yeah, yeah. Same as similar to last year. Maybe just a touch more.
Yeah.
But also because this year the two podcast comedians were not part of the festival, whereas last year one of them was part of the festival, so that like added an additional comic. Um, but oh, the big story. Here, ask me how the eve of the festival show was.
Oh,
Free for
the
locals.
how was it?
It was first a little bit of drama because Vail Brewing Company couldn't host us or didn't want to host us or who knows what's going
Needed a
on with them.
headliner, right?
Um, we had we do a secret headliner every year, and so we moved to Kachina, which is a huge space, and we've had like 30 to 40 people every year, and over 100 people showed up, Brooke. It was
Are you
nuts.
serious?
Yeah, it was incredible.
That's
We had like
insane.
120 people there, I think, and then it gets crazier. So we do the show. The show's great. We have a comedian from Toronto, Canada. We have a comedian from San Francisco, a comedian from New York, a comedian from Los Angeles. We had the headliner was one of the podcast people from New York City. He's been doing comedy forever, headlines around the country. We had Jenny Zagrino, who's been on,
Mhm.
she has multiple Comedy Central specials. Was in a movie with Billy Bob Thornton. So we just incredible lineup. And then at the very end of the show, I'm like, hey, we're going to collect tips, and this is how the show was free. So if you want to, we're going to just split the tips evenly. We had 10 comics, everybody gets a tenth of the money. And we went around and collected. We had one comic collect Venmo, one comic collect credit card, one comic collect cash. We had a guy give $100 who works for Yama Sushi. Thank you, Yama Sushi. You, I can't remember his name, but he gave $100, and I love that guy. We had two people tip $50 on Venmo. We raised $1,200. I'm not supposed to actually. I'm not supposed to say that out loud, but too late.
No, that it
You could.
like for especially like being at Vail Brewing Company, that's a popular place for having to switch it to Kachinas. The stress about are people still gonna come to that much money, that is awesome.
It was great. The comics were really grateful, and uh, everybody just it was like a love fest. Everybody had a really good time, and I think it's just going to build. Like I think that's what happened. It took till year three for people because there were people who had been there at all three of them, and people are going to keep coming back. So that's pretty exciting. I'm excited
Yeah, I
about
gotta
that.
remember. Don't I'll send my best wishes to the bride and the groom next time if it's on a Memorial Day weekend.
Nice, nice.
Actually,
You
I have a
can't
funny
you
story
can't
for
miss it.
you.
You have what?
I have a funny story for you that happened
Okay, let's hear it.
My friend had a peanut allergy, and it only happens when he is out of the country. He eats peanuts in accident. He starts having a peanut allergy. He goes to the hotel lobby telling them I have a peanut allergy, and it's like the bride's brother. They start
That,
giving him the Heimlich, and he ends up having the hiccups for 3 days.
wow.
After we were just talking about how that would be the worst
Jeez.
diagnosis is having chronic hiccups
That's crazy. How do
in
you
the
even
middle of
fly with
Mexico.
that?
We were in Cabo.
That's hilarious. Holy cow. All right.
Yeah.
Any other comedy festival questions?
Let's see.
What else you got?
What was your best highlight or joke? What was the craziest joke? Shock factor.
Um,
First thing that pops into your mind, because there's always you know, I hate that question.
I would say just the Mary Mac show really stood out on Sunday night. There was, not a huge audience, but by the end of the show, the audience, everybody loved Mary, and we're just so happy. And uh, that was a really fun show. It was really cool. Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah.
How was your what are you doing today? Where are you at? Or Los Angeles right now? I can't
San
remember.
Diego. I'm in San
San Diego.
Diego, and right after this, I'm gonna go to like I I think it's called Hodie's Hideout or Hodie's something. It's like this great burger and fries place. Probably gonna milkshake as well. I gotta go to the gym. I didn't sleep great last night. Slept in my car right in the ocean. It was beautiful, but I just woke up early and couldn't go back to sleep, so I only slept like 5 hours, which stinks. So probably a nap is in my future. And then a comedy buddy of mine is also a jazz pianist, and he has a gig tonight at a fancy hotel. So I'm gonna go watch him play jazz piano, and then I have a comedy show tonight, 8 o'clock in the Gaslamp Quarter, which is like downtown San Diego. Did a show last night for 75 people. Super fun. I'd driven 19 hours to get there over 2 days, and I was a little loopy, but it went. It's fun. Like it's easy mode being out here because like when I'm in Eagle, half the people have seen most of my jokes already. So when I'm out
Yeah.
here, like I'm funnier in the sense that people are like, wow, he's so good. How does he come up with all this stuff? Well, in Eagle, like people are like, oh, I've heard that one before. Like I'm
Right.
there every month. It's more difficult when
And
at a regular show.
you get fed by the crowd. So I imagine, yeah, you
Yeah,
feel a little bit more fulfilled.
yeah. It was
Then.
definitely fun, and it was a good audience last night too. Because I'm not for everybody, but last night it was like an older, wealthier crowd, which I'm pretty good at based on my Vail
Based off
experience.
Will. Yes,
Yeah. So,
exactly.
um,
What are you listening to on your drives right now?
Vampire Weekend. It's
Vampire
on
Weekend?
repeat. They're coming to Red Rocks and Dillon Amphitheater coming up, and they got a new album. Definitely listen to them, and I'm gonna go see the Killers this summer as well.
I love it.
So yeah, I'll be listening to them some as well. Also, I've been listening to Boys on the Boat,
Heard about
book on
that.
tape. Yeah, and some podcasts. Been
Nice.
listening. Some of the Vail Comedy Festival podcasts are already out.
Are they? Okay, I'll have
Yeah,
to.
at least one. I listened to one. Definitely some not family friendly material in the beginning that involves me. Actually, it's so funny. Like during the festival, I walked right into the podcast taping because I had to grab some gear, and then like all four of it was Mary Mac, her husband, the two podcast people, and like 12 people in the audience, and they were like, "Oh, speak of the devil, there's Mark." And ran in, ran out, had no idea what they were talking about, but everybody laughed. And then on the podcast, the one podcast that's been released, you can hear it, and I'm like, "Oh my god."
Oh my gosh. Okay, send that to me
Yeah.
as well. So I'm gonna have
Okay.
to
Just
drive to
Google
Denver.
it. It's the Great
Dang,
Hang podcast with Micah and Tim, and it's the most recent episode. I'm pretty sure.
awesome.
Yeah. All right. We did pretty well. There's somebody watching on the internet. Do they have any questions or comments or thoughts before we wrap this up? And do you have any final questions or comments or thoughts?
Um, no. Thanks for surprising me. You know how I do with that. I work better doing that. I'm glad you didn't tell me.
Nice. Cool. Yeah. It was, the festival was good.
Was it what other
Um,
staff was there that I might know?
uh, Jeff, who's been there every year. Joe,
Yeah,
who was there
Jeff.
last year.
Yep.
Jess, who you met last year, she kind of like picked up at the tail end.
Yeah,
Eight,
nice.
she was there the whole time, super helpful, did a great job.
I
But a
needed her.
new,
She saved me at the tail end. That I'm
yeah,
glad
a
you
new
came.
a new volunteer who's a comedian in Denver, Christina. She was great. Mike B, who helps with the magic, he did that again. We did some special close-up magic shows this year, which was new, and we had a variety show that was crazy. We had a three-piece band and magic and comedy all on the same stage uh, over the course of an hour. It was taped professionally and should be released later this summer by Mary Mack, which will be pretty exciting.
Is this all on your Twitter? How can I keep updates?
You got to
Yes.
just text me. You
Yeah.
got to come to the festival. To everybody watching this in the future, VailComedyFestival.com. It's every Memorial Day weekend. You get a pass, you come, you experience it in person. You got to be there. You got to be there. What happens at Vail Comedy Festival stays in Vail Comedy Festival. But
It
Brooke,
does. One of my favorite events of the year.
you can just ask me. I mean, it probably if you follow our social media, we'll probably post about those things eventually.
Mhm.
The learn more thing is on there, and what was the other thing I was going to share? Oh, the billboard. The billboard was all over our social media like about 2 weeks ago. We posted like 5 or 10 pictures of it.
Okay. I had to delete my Instagram because I realized I haven't posted in like a year and a half, and all I do is doom scroll.
That's a good. So just check on the
I
web.
finally deleted. I'm like,
Just
ugh.
good for you.
I
I've
know.
never been on it, so I don't do that, which is nice. But if you just Instagram.com/ Vail Comedy Festival, that's what I
Yeah.
do maybe once a month just to see if there's stuff going on.
I check mine once a month just to see all the memes that
Okay.
people send
If
me.
you could do me a favor, if you do get on with an actual account, um, you know how to take a screenshot, right?
Yeah.
If you could screenshot some of the stories and send them to me, I'd appreciate it. Because I can use like I when I do like a presentation to the town or whatever, there's some pretty cool ones. There's one of like a comic hiking, and I was like, oh man, I didn't really realize they disappeared forever until they were gone forever.
I know. I hope maybe they save this thing, but that is kind of frustrating when it's like
Well,
only 24 hours.
yeah. Oh, it's also only 24 hours. Oh,
Well,
I
it's
didn't realize
24
that.
hours, but then you can save the story where it like comes up on circles right before you
Oh,
share
interesting.
photos.
Yeah,
So
I
if
have no
they
idea how this works. It's
save
probably
it,
gone forever.
and it's
I did
called like highlights.
I did take one screenshot, and I'm really glad I did. It was of there was a comic who in 2017 he was in the front row for a Comedy Central taping of Jenny Zagrino's special, and they even talked to each other during it's on Comedy Central, them talking to each other, and he got to open for her at the festival 7 years later.
Oh, that's so neat.
Yeah, it was really cool. He was like, "This is like the best thing that's ever happened to me." So there was all kinds of like happy stuff
Yeah, like
going on like that.
yeah, you made monumental like yeah moments in that yeah like
Yes,
key moments in that person's life. Yeah.
yes, definitely made me happy. All right, well, we're at 30 minutes, so let's wrap this up. VailComedyFestival.com, everybody, check it out. I can't believe I'm not wearing my hoodie, but I'm representing Moe's. I like Moe's. Uh, VailComedyFestival.com to get passes to every Memorial Day weekend. They go on sale January 1st every year. There's a rumor they might go on sale Black Friday this year. So a little earlier, and comedian submissions open up November 1st. And yeah, Brooke, great to chat with you. Thank you for your great questions. Stick around. I'll give you some of the inside dirt for a couple of minutes until my laptop dies. But
Sure.
all right. Bye bye.
Perfect.
Bye from San Diego, everybody. Have a great day.